touching on the top prop bets in the NBA today. All right, so getting into the board for today. When I say a board is not looking like a good board thus far in the day, this is what I'm referring to. So I built out this tool for current 9 to 5 members, and looking at it, it's broken down into different categories, like over bets that we can make, under bets that we can make, bets where the props are not matching up, both over and under bets. So looking at the over odds, the best over bet that we're getting is D'Angelo Russell over 2.5 rebounds. What we can see is only projected to get 2.6, so not that huge, and we can kind of show you guys kind of why as well. Like, this is the best bet that we're getting. And so if we can scroll down here, we can kind of see why it's being broken up that way. Sure, we are favoring the over odds here, like everything's pointing to being over, but we can see that overall projection for him is like right at that line. So on the day, we're not getting that many great bets, and I'll touch on these as we go. I just want to point that out before we get into the 2 best bets that we're getting on the day, and then we'll get into NBA. So just kind of pulling it up, we can see not a big difference. And even in like where the lines are different, let's look at Banchero, points plus rebounds. 26.5 is the PrizePicks line. On average, the sportsbooks have him at 27. Projected to get 29 or so. Like, that's a good bet, and we'll touch on that. But I just kind of want to show you guys what I mean by when I say like the board today as it sits right now is not that elite. So yesterday, the 2 best bets that we had odd wides ended up missing. Thankfully for basically everyone, they took the DeMar DeRozan prop away. They made it 1 point higher. So no one was able to really bet that one. Now, because those 2 favorable odds bets didn't hit yesterday, I kind of feel much better about the 2 favorable odd bets that we're getting today. And so in hockey, we got 2 that are literally identical. So we got this one over 2.5 shot attempts. And if we look at it, the number is set at minus 145 to get the over, and the under collectively is set at minus 140. And if we pull it up on DK Sportsbook, they have it a little bit differently. They're saying minus 155 odds to get the over here. Okay, so the theme is shouldn't get the under and should get the over. This is one of those, too good to pass up on situations, especially for this one specifically. Okay, this is such a good odds bet that I'd be fine to use like the Tom Brady prop with it. Not the Tom Brady, the Patrick Mahomes free square prop that we're getting. And then we also have Jake here as well. We can see his is set at 2.5 shots on goal as well. And we can see 3 out of the last 5 games he's had the over here as well. On average, his odds are going to be the same across all the sports books as well. Minus 145 to get the over and plus 140 to get the under. So very favorable odds that we're getting with those 2 NHL bets. And so anytime we're getting those favorable bets, I want to get that out to you guys at the start of the video. That way, you guys can hopefully get those in, and hopefully they will hit before the lines get adjusted. And so once again, you could use the Patrick Mahomes free square with those, because those are really good odd bets. And I've kind of been waiting on that for the really strong odd bets that we were getting, and we finally got. So yesterday, sure, the 2 best odd bets that we got didn't hit, but the next really strong bets that we were getting did. The NHL bets hit, the Jalen Green, Jordan Poole, Al Horford hit. So as a whole, it's good. Just the 2 favorable bets didn't hit. So today, these could all hit as well. I want to point out that the numbers that we're getting on these are not as popping as yesterday. And so this is really the best bet that we're getting. And you guys will see why as we go through it. But this might be a day, and I'm going to come out with a Taco Tuesday video later on today. And hopefully we have some stronger bets to go with those kind of free squares that we're going to get from the Taco Tuesday. So looking at D'Angelo Russell over 2.5 rebounds. I already showed you guys kind of why it's popping up decently there. And let's just pull it up on DK Sportsbook just to confirm that it's still the same number. Okay, so they have it set at minus 130. That's fine. We'll take that. Let's look at the game over and under just to make sure it's supposed to be a close game. Okay, so, we don't like that. Okay, so the Minnesota Timberwolves are plus 9 dogs. They're dogs, okay? The question is, does D'Angelo Russell have that dog in him? And stupid joke. But he is someone that could be on the trade block. I don't know. There's just a lot of weird factors that go into this play today. The game over and under is pretty high. And so I always kind of say we can't predict when a blowout's going to happen or if it's going to happen really. 2.5 rebounds is not that many. On the season, he averages 3.1. So it's a little bit strange that they're giving that number to us. And I think it's literally just the fact that last game he was hot shooting the basketball. 6 for 9. That's a great percentage. 3 for 5. It's a good percentage there as well. They blew out the Denver Nuggets as well. So he only ended up playing 30 minutes. Where if he gets his normal allotment of minutes, 35, he should be able to get the over rebounds here. And it's kind of the fact that he didn't last game against Denver that I like the odds for him to get over this game, get closer to that average. And so on paper, this is the best bet that we're getting NBA wise thus far today. Let's go ahead and get into another one that's all right. So this is one that, over his last 4 games, or 4 out of his last 5 games, he's been able to get the over. Okay, Trey Young over 9.5 assists. It is kind of an appealing prop bet just based off of those numbers. Now, once again, let's just examine the game. It is a game that's projected to stay close, which we like. Okay, the over and under set at 236, so a pretty high scoring game as well. That means, there should be points available. And if there's points available, then Trey Young should be able to get those assists. And so if we look at his prop on DK Sportsbook, minus 125, so not elite odds that we're getting there. This is more or less the projection. He's projected to get 10.7 assists. If we look at on the season, he does average 9.9, so like pretty strong there. The last time out against the Pels did have 10. Okay, so, that's all kind of favoring Trey Young being a good bet, but 9.5 is a lot of assists. I never feel completely comfortable making a prop bet on something like assists where there's another factor that goes into it. Rebounds, it's, there's some luck to it, but at least it's the player just simply grabbing the rebound. Points, it's literally the player shooting and making a bucket. With assist, it's one, they got to count as assist, and then two, you're depending on another player to make the shot. So I typically don't love those, especially at these high numbers, but it is one of the better prop bets that we're getting on paper today. So this is one where I kind of like rolling with the hot hand. We can see 4 out of the past 5 games, Jamal Murray has been over. Gets a good matchup going against Minnesota. I currently have him projected to get 26.3 points as well. The biggest question mark with this one, once again, is the game staying close. And if it is a blowout, when does the blowout occur? Do the players get their final rotation or not? Does it become a blowout at the end of the fourth quarter, or is it just a situation in which the starters are done and they don't get their final fourth quarter rotation? That's the biggest question, but it is a high-scoring game. And so, yes, DK Sportsbook has it set at minus 125, which is pretty accurate across all the sportsbook. It's about minus 130 or minus 123 on average. And he is currently questionable, listed as probable. If he plays, I don't think they're going to kind of limit his minutes. So he should be good to go. And we can see the minutes have been there, 36, 36, 39. 40. It's the games in which, are blowouts in which he's not getting a full allotment of minutes, but he is still able to produce in those games. Gets a good matchup against Minnesota, a matchup in which he just went for 28 points against earlier on, and he had 33 minutes in that game. Look at another one, 14. Okay. Didn't really shoot the ball that well. 3-point land. Not terrible, but obviously not over the prop there. Not a terrible game is what I mean. So one game really under, another game really over. We can see he averages 20.2 points on the season. Given the fact that's a better matchup, I think he'll be able to get closer to over that, but we can see why it's not like a lock and load prop. So the Markelle Fultz over bets are very interesting to me today. So this is going to be due to 2 reasons. One, matchup with the New York Knicks should be a strong matchup, should be a game in which he's able to score. We can see like they are slightly favoring this over, but it is much more of a push. Okay, like minus 120, not great odds. If we look at the game line, it's not as high scoring as we would like, but it is a close game. Okay, now why do I like this prop? Because it's a prop in which we are kind of betting on the minutes. Last game, he saw 36 minutes, which I think it was the most he's had all season. Okay, he had 37 against Portland one game. Okay, second most minutes this season. And it's been one of those situations in which it has been trending in that direction for quite a while because we saw 32, 33, 30, 36. This game was a blowout, but then he saw 31, 31, 32. So like if we can accurately project him to get over 30 minutes, then he becomes a much more appealing bet. And guys, this is going to be true across the board. So he averages 25 minutes, and that's more or less what the props are kind of basing it off of, where he's projected to get 31 minutes. So if he does get that, then we can see like why it's favoring the over. Now, an average does average about 12.5 points. So his average there is based off of the minutes that he's been getting per game. So if he gets an increase in minutes, he should get an increase in points. Now, maybe you guys don't like the points prop. Well, it's going to be true across the board for kind of all of them. Like if the minutes are up, then the rebounds should be up. We can see averages 3.7 rebounds per game, so slightly over that. And then the assist as well, right at his average. A decent prop bet for the day, not something that, we love. We can see that there's a slight edge there with those bets. Maybe we do, points, rebounds, and assists. But I kind of want, if we're doing something with Fultz, betting on the minutes, I kind of want to choose one of them, whether it be points, rebounds, or assists. I feel like we need to just choose one. And he has been efficient lately, but that's kind of him. He's not going to take these low percentage shots. So if we can continue to get 10 shot attempts out of him, which I think we will if the minutes are there, then he should be able to get over 13.5 points. Once again, guys, the prop board that we're getting this morning is not as good as hopefully it'll be later on today, and I'll be releasing that Taco Tuesdays video as it comes, as the props come. So Banchero has been playing much better as of recent, so the current prop for his points and rebounds is at 26.5, which is a half a point lower than his combined props for points and rebounds. So a tiny, tiny edge there. Now, he is someone that lately has been playing much better. Okay, still not a lock and load to get the over, but we can see he has been playing better as of recent. Last time out against the Knicks, had a really good game, 21 points, only 4 rebounds. So he didn't get the over there. And so we can see like on the season, pretty much set at his average here. So it does kind of feel like we're forced, and I just want to call it out because the line was slightly different. And it's a day in which, it's a tight line day. So because of that, I'm trying to give you guys the ones that are popping. So CP3 really under today is an okay logical bet as well. It's just kind of trying to find the one that you want to bet. The one that I was able to find would be points and rebounds under 17.5. Okay, projected to get 15.78. And if we look at it, the reason why is because they are kind of, I don't want to say finally healthy, but Devin Booker is healthy now. He's going to play. The question is, will he have his minutes restricted at all? We don't really know. And part of this could be, and I wish we were going to get news on this. I think the Nets became much better defensively with that trade. So with that, I could see someone like CP3 kind of struggling, and like maybe like this line would be under, and that really depends on that on that trade situation. If those guys are going to play, if DFS is going to play really, and Ben Simmons, if he's going to play, two pretty strong defensive players, that would make it more difficult for, CP3 to be productive. And this is predicated on, Devin Booker being back and playing a full allotment of minutes. We can see on the season, averages about 14 points and about 4 rebounds. So right at that number. And so if it is a little bit more difficult of a matchup and a little bit, tougher sledding, then it's not hard to imagine the under being the bet here. So, if you guys want to, I would probably, I don't want to say I would wait. This is a good number and I don't want the line to like move. But typically I like to kind of hold off on making some bets unless we are getting eye-popping bets on Taco Tuesday. That way, we're obviously making the best kind of bankroll decisions we can. But if we were to just make, a normal bet, it would probably be looking at this. Like, I think this is a very strong bet. Or you could do something like this, both these two together. And I actually threw out this random college basketball prop because it has a good chance of being a push. And so because obviously they're on the same team, you kind of need to toss in something like that. You could usually do the Tom Brady bet with that as well. But that's all for today. Once again, I will be coming out with that Taco Tuesday video probably about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time today, maybe 3 p.m. It really depends on when they drop the Taco Tuesday. That's all I have for you guys for this video. Let's have a good slate. And as always, guys, let's keep cashing.